What do you
Oh,
mean?
you Dapper, you did.
Me?
Because the PDF
No.
says that
Hey,
the
stop
Senate.
pointing fingers at each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
Can I continue?
Techie, are you gonna sit down? Or are you just gonna
Well,
stand there the
I'm
whole
just
time?
letting you know what the PDF says. It says that
I
they're gonna.
appreciate you.
Okay.
I know it was fucked up, and then I thought
Wait,
they
what?
fixed it.
No, it's
Okay.
not fixed.
Somebody
I
kick me off
believe
the
for
stage.
all intents and yeah, we're convening
Yeah,
again.
kick me.
Oh, okay.
What are we convening for
Ivan's
again?
the Supreme Court thing.
I
Mr.
don't have any
President, we have a
comments on that.
quorum.
Talon, you voted for it.
Yes, but I don't have any comments.
Okay. The Senate will come to order at 9:38 p.m. Order again. 9.
Mr. President, point of order. The resolution
Yes,
says
Mr.
that we
Techie.
must convene en bloc, so I think we should all get in white.
Okay.
Mr. Dapper's inability to write resolutions does not
this was
mandate the
ghost
dress
written.
code of this. I know it was. We don't need to go there. Okay. Will the Mr. Chief Justice please have a seat? Double, please, so you don't disbar me, please. Okay.
Mr. President, may I have
The Sergeant at
floor?
Arms. Hold on. The Sergeant at Arms will please make all the other people sit down, except the press guy. He can stay.
Damn. Enforcement looks so hot in his robes. Oh my
Can we hold
god.
And will
contempt?
please administer an oath of honesty to Mr. Enforcement Dion.
Fuck you. Kill yourself. I can't say
Hey!
Whoa, Mr. Sergeant!
Hey!
Watch
Constantly
your tone,
verbal is
boy.
hired as deputy sergeant.
Please issue the oath. Or verbal can do it. I don't know.
Constantly verbal issue the oath.
Oh my god.
That guy sucks.
Shit aim.
Wow. That's the worst I've ever seen.
Okay.
The record will reflect that the Chief Justice is here voluntarily. No subpoena has been issued at this point
I have a question.
because he was here. Do you have? There's a point of order, perhaps.
Sorry, no, I just have a question for enforcement.
Okay. Does any senator seek the floor?
I do.
Mr. Talon and Mr.
Yes.
Dapper after.
Can I go first, Dapper?
Yes, you
Okay.
first, and then Dapper.
One question, very quick. I've been working on this for a little bit. I'm a very big stand-up guy, big comedian. Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Who's the Scarecrow?
Because he was an outstanding in his field. Did you get it?
That was good. That was good.
Thank you. I yield my time. Thank you.
All right. That was a great one, Talon.
Thank you.
Mr. Beyond. Tell us about your job.
I judge things. That's the simplicity of my job. I judge things.
All right, great to hear. And you oversee the other associate justices, right, of the Supreme Court?
Oversee is not the way you want to term that. No Chief Justice has power over an associate justice.
The Sergeant at Arms will
but
deal with that guy, please. Sorry.
But what they do, my job is to oversee the court's administrative business, how cases get assigned to be written by who, and making sure the clerk does his job.
All right, thank you. So, well,
You didn't read up on my job beforehand, so that just took you off by surprise, didn't it?
I know what you do. You're the Chief Justice, buddy.
Well, I mean, you asked the question as if we oversee associate justice. Even in the real world Supreme Court, the Chief Justice.
Hey, stop talking. Thank you.
that took you off guard. I have you tight now.
All right. So anyways, like, all of these associate justices act independently from you when they are making their conclusions to their cases, correct?
Yes, we discuss, but they vote independently. They make their own decisions.
Okay.
And they bring their own suggestions and they write their own opinions.
Okay. So, a decision recently came out by Justice Site Owner. Have you discussed that with him? This is regarding the dismissal of Ahmad Kapilot's or
Yeah,
072, whatever that is.
we're all in agreement there. We're all in agreement.
Okay, good. So you think that was the right call?
Absolutely, and if the government would like to change that, they're welcome to pass a law that says otherwise.
Okay. There has been no official report come out from that yet.
Would you like a
The
verbal?
only word
That's what-
from the Supreme Court was blah blah blah, some Latin words, something formal soon. Soon has come, and we ain't seeing something formal.
You won't see one for a very long time.
I think that's a problem.
You were looking for something else as an answer. Yeah, you won't see one for a very long time, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Really?
He just clocked you. Jesus.
Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I mean there is no time set anywhere required, and we do have a draft, which is still being edited, but we're not releasing that yet because it is still just a draft. And if I were to tell you, oh, we're going to release that tomorrow, then well, I'd just be lying, wouldn't I?
Oh, okay. Interesting. So you're just not gonna do that?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not going to give you a guarantee that's going to happen within the week or within the month or within the year. There's a draft, and somebody's been assigned to write it. And when they finish that draft and we can all agree that the draft is worded exactly how we wanted, then we will release that draft.
Interesting.
That's how opinions work.
Interesting. All right, that's all from me then.
Mr. President, I seek recognition.
Mr. Jackie.
Chief Justice, it is wonderful to see you, especially under better circumstances compared to last time we met.
Oh, nice to see you too.
Just a pretty quick question. As you may or may not be aware, I am also the state bar director, and we currently have several applicants up for admission to the state bar. I was just wondering when those might get voted on.
They're automatically in default granted admission into the state bar. Whoever you've licensed in recent times, they have their license.
So
They are so authorized to practice, including the one that you sent, I believe, last week.
So the procedure then has changed compared to
No, I
previous
just
time?
haven't gotten around to publishing the authorization, but I did take vote on that the day after you sent me the last one, and they were all granted.
Okay.
But they're all
I
granted.
believe
If
as
they-
well, just for the record, that the
And
law
if-
did change to
Yes.
grant them
Yes.
like
I mean,
temporary
pri-
certs, and then the Supreme Court can go back on that later if they want.
Yeah. So
Do we actually follow that, though?
if I fail to answer, I believe it's something like a week or two. It's something along those
Yeah.
lines. The law says. Then they have automatic licenses until we so decide otherwise.
All right. Well, I have no further questions. Thank you for
No.
your time, Mr. Chief
Other
Justice.
questions? No, you're welcome.
I yield one time.
Any other senators? Senator Peace,
Yeah, I got some more
No.
questions.
Mr. Dapper.
So if you don't have an opinion ready, why did you make a binding order?
Because there was already imminent harm for a defendant in that case. I think it stands pretty clear that if we have already made a decision and we're stuck in the writing process, but we know what the answer is, we shouldn't allow the parties to worsen the circumstances when we can instead drop in and say, hold on, there's a stay on this issue. We've already made a decision, and you will be seeing the full decision soon. I think that's pretty clear, and that's in line with the practice of various other courts. We don't come up with this out of nowhere, just as a heads up. We tend to base most of, if not everything we do, and you'll find in a lot of our opinions, everything is almost always worded similarly to something another court did.
Why would you not just issue a formal stay then?
Because we've already reached a decision. If I had reached a stay, then maybe that would do that. If I couldn't, if not all of us were aboard, or if we were still in that stage where we wouldn't know how the proceeding was going to go. But if we already have a decision and we already know how it's going to go, and then we don't need a stay. We don't have to lie to people and tell them that oh, it's still subject to deciding, but in the meantime we'll have a stay. No, we've already decided it, and you'll see the documentation soon regarding it.
Okay. Why not like an order list then? Like this release by Mr. Site Owner was very off-putting to the people, and many are concerned about his old age.
You're concerned about an order list. An order list is maybe a sentence professionally worded, which does provides actually nothing as far as explanation either. So that's not either what you're seeking. And as far as old age, site owner is safe and sound in mind.
Interesting.
I think I think he could be in the position to write another book, practically.
Oh. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. Well, that's about all from me.
Does any other senators seek recognition?
Nope.
Well,
Not for me.
I'll take this as an opportunity to say this Ridgeway Senate should support Israel.
I agree to that.
Hmm?
I agree to that. That's good. Yes.
Is that a political
Okay.
statement made in your
We need to
position as Chief
support
Justice?
Israel.
Have all the senators finished getting murdered by the Chief Justice?
I
Yes,
actually
I
got
will
another
notice.
question.
Oh my.
Okay, Mr. Dapper, go ahead.
Oh.
Ooh. Questions.
You want to run it through ChatGPT? Maybe it'll give you a question.
No, I'm just wondering about the lack of attorneys in the state right now.
So, how do you want me to answer that? You have a question in there, or is it a wondering?
I'm just asking about the lack of attorneys in the state right now.
So, how would we address that?
I don't know, that's up to you. That's not my job.
Oh, no. I'm asking you, is that what you want me to answer?
Okay, well, what are you going to do to fix? Who are you recruiting? How are we going to get more attorneys?
Well, I think it's quite impossible for me to go around handing out money and saying you should come out here and practice in Ridgeway.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
What I'm saying, well, my thought on how we can incentivize attorneys I've already put into the works, and that is by putting in-game monetary incentive for it. Just last week, I mentioned to the public defender's office that they're welcome to submit timesheets regarding each case they touch, and I believe I told them it was $250 per hour that they can charge, or something along those lines. Oh no, I'm trying to make it more profitable to be an attorney. Granted, yeah, it'll kill the game's economy, but that's DO's problem, not mine.
Okay. Can you tell us about what's going on with sentencing guidelines?
Sentencing guidelines, quite interesting. So the concept of sentencing guidelines, the reason why I proposed it was as a negotiation between me and the development oversight to push the sentencing maximums not from three times what the charge is, but and this sounds terrible, but I am pushing it for 8 times the maximum.
8 times.
Yes, that's my current. That's where I stand in negotiations. I was willing initially to go as low as 5, but now I'm being very interested in seeing it go to 8. Yes, somebody mentioned what's DO? Who's DO? The DO's dead. They're not going to give me 8. In fact, they won't give you anything anymore. But in order for me to get that accomplished, part of the deal was having sentencing guidelines. However, they were unwilling in the end to, even if I were to produce sentencing guidelines, to make that multiplication. And so that process dies.
Oh, okay.
There's no benefit to it anymore. The whole point of it was, let's give sentencing guidelines so that we can get it more time, so we can actually say, oh, you get multiple counts of a crime, we can give you that time, that crime, times 2, times 3, and it makes sense. You got charged twice. I'm not going to receive that times 8 multiplier anymore. So we do not need a sentencing guideline anymore because it was just bargaining for that.
Okay. I think that might be all.
Are you
might-
sure?
Let me think.
Do you want to resurrect yourself a third time so he can kill you again?
Mr. President,
Um,
may I?
Ooh, I do have another one. Thank you. What about this whatchamacallit? Judicial conference. Are there like
Mhm.
any planned rules, whatchamacallums?
Yes, so the judicial conference, I convene it generally 2 to 3 times a year at undetermined times, just depending on how long things have, how I perceive the amount of rules to stack. Yes, I have a bunch of rules. Actually, the gentleman in the crowd, Robin 5D, provided a numerous set of rules, and I know the chief judge wants to propose some rule as well. But I'm letting it allow to the point where it stacks to get another few more rules to be added. I want the judicial conference to make a lot of changes the next time around, not just be something where we convene, make one rule change, and then disappear yet again. We actually have to do substantial work.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Does Senator Dapper yield?
Yeah.
Mr. Techie?
And Mr. Chief Justice, I was just wondering if you had any idea when we might get Volume 2 out.
Volume 2, if my mind recalls correctly, that was transferred over as a power of the Department of State. It's a question for them. They're responsible for being the archivist and document keeper, not only for the Supreme Court, but for the Superior Court, and they have yielded none of that.
Well, I do believe that at least Volume 1 came out while such legislation was in effect. So,
Yes, and then we found out it wasn't our responsibility, so we stopped filling it.
but I liked it.
Maybe one day Lewis will get tired of having to reference his stuff by reading through Law.Ridgeway or digging through Trello, and he might just upload his own second volume. Who knows?
Maybe you pray that day will come soon.
Maybe that day will come soon. I don't know. Lewis has other things to be doing.
Well, I hope that the rest of the Senate has learned their lesson about seeking questions from the Supreme Court, and I would
Yeah,
move to a recess.
I would like to
Adjournment.
refer the Senate back to the last time I was called here. Was for a gentleman called Taxes Aren't Awesome. You're welcome to read the history of government announcements and how I almost decimated the existence of the Senate within 24 hours. That should be a perfect example of the
Okay,
Supreme Court.
yeah, you are not that hard. Just
I
want
am,
to throw that out
I
there.
am, I
No,
am.
you're not.
Read,
Shut the fuck
read
up.
updates.
Sorry, that's
Read
a joke.
updates.
That's
Read
a joke.
updates.
That's a joke.
I am.
Yeah, that's a joke. I love you.
Hey, is that Tanalo? One second.
That
It is
me.
Tylenol.
Wait, no,
Right.
please stop. Wait, no, please.
One
I'm
second.
sorry. Wait, no, stop. Wait, please, please. I can't do that. Hold on a minute. Just wait a second.
Hold up.
Please, just wait a second. Just hold on.
I'm
We can
talking-
talk about things. No,
I'm
Alright,
talking-
anyways.
We don't have to.
Anyways.
We don't have to
Hold
go
on.
anywhere with this.
Senator Sallin has the floor to beg for his life.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
don't.
Can you hurry up so I can go?
talking to II Grizzly right now. He seems to be making some accusations against you.
Mr. President, I must leave.
Sorry.
Okay. Any other senator with questions for the Chief Justice?
No questions. I yield.
Um,
I didn't think so.
yeah.
I will be going. Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. You may step down. We appreciate your attendance. And we'll see you probably in like 2 years when they try this shit again.
What was so bad about that?
Mr.
Why are we all
Mr.
scared of him? Why are we acting like that was a bad thing? We got
He's
great
still on the
results.
call. He's still on the call. I don't
Mr.
wanna
Mr.
say
Source
something.
V, hold
Exactly.
on. Mr. Source V has asked to testify voluntarily. If the Senate wishes to entertain it,
Can we enter
we-
business for the Marshall Committee then, if we're gonna do him?
Oh my.
yes.
All right.
Mr. Source V, come step up. Mr. Verbal will please administer the oath.
enforcement. I think you're a great guy. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, we still
All
have a
the
quorum, right? It's 3 people for this committee stuff.
For hearings, yes, 3.
Okay, yeah.
3 is sufficient. Thank you, Mr. Bird.
May I speak the
Mr.
floor?
Source V has appeared momentarily, and the Sergeant at Arms will please arrest this moron. Book him for contempt. Does any senator seek the floor?
Yeah.
I will also bring up Source V.
Okay, sourced.
onto the stage.
Okay, you are gonna talk. So you wanted to volunteer because you disagree with some of the things Arthur has said. Can you just start off by listing your grievances against him?
I'm
Or the
not
point
gonna
that he
list
made,
off any
rather.
grievances against him. I don't have any grievances against him. What's the question? Sorry.
Just you disagree with some of the claims he made. Can you just list those, like, and provide your own
Well,
story?
I wasn't really here for the majority of it. But from what I've heard was that he was saying that I was being demeaning and being very quote unquote strict about the formatting of the code of statutes. Look, I've been here since I've been like the statutes guy, code of statutes guy since like the beginning of the code of statutes. I'm literally like the founder of it, right? And the reason why I wanted it in a completely, new technique and, having them go through the entirety of the statutes is so that we can clean up the messes that like 2020 me made. The reason why I didn't really want okay, so the technique that Arthur Chen and Robin were talking about during his hearing was that he was copying and pasting from the direct code of statutes. Um, and there's some issues with that reason, and there's a reason why I kind of spoke against that. Um, it's because there's new bills obviously, and we want to make sure that we have like proper space for the bills to fit in a like a understandable way, um, and that there are some flaws in the code of statutes that we shouldn't like directly copy and paste over. Um, and yeah, that's the reason why I was like a little bit strict on it. And I thought this was made clear to them, and apparently they saw it as disrespect or being demeaning. But my bad, bro. Like the Code of Statutes is like basically the most important document, maybe aside from the Constitution, pertaining to our state legislature. So I don't see why we should like copy and paste it and like do less effort on it when
Contempt for the horn guy, please.
He's getting him.
I don't know why we should, have any lackluster effort on it and, resort to copying and pasting from the old statutes when we have the opportunity to basically redo it and like actually get it formally made and proper. So I don't understand why we're like straying away from that. But yeah, that's all.
Okay. How's your progress so far with that?
Well, my plan for this term was to become deputy secretary and help dominate you with the Department of State. But as you may know, I am now the PPD chief. So obviously, things got in the way. Progress on that hasn't really been great. I will admit that. I'm under oath, and I will admit that. It's not really ideal. The progress should be better, and that's on me because I'm literally juggling between like 30 different things aside from the governor barking down my throat for different things, and then just archives. I kind of put archives in a back burner, sadly. So that's on me, but not on Dominic you.
Okay. So since you've kind of put this on the back burner and Arthur's the one in charge of it now, and you aren't really involved, is there a way you guys can like meet in the middle and make a compromise so this gets done? Like,
Yeah,
go on.
that's fine. I don't really. Yeah, I'll be talking to them later today, and I'll be also getting a grip with the other archive staff because I shouldn't be managing them. Arthur is the guy in charge of.
Yeah.
How did I even?
Right. Right.
Great.
Was this enforcement beyond doing that to me?
Where was I? Yeah, Arthur Chen is in charge of the personnel. So I'll have to talk to the group chat, the so-called group chat. Yeah, with the meeting stuff in it, and have them lock in. My bad, because I have a department to also handle as well. So
Right. So you're here voluntarily. Is there just anything else you wanted to add? That's all from me.
nah, not really.
All right. Anyone else?
Do you
What?
I just
Do-
want
do you-
everyone to know that democracy is calling peace download.
True.
Peace
Thank you.
download. You haven't said anything. Say something.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about any of these hearings, okay? Okay.
real
That's what I got to
Mr.
say.
Talon, Mr. Talon, do you have any questions?
No questions for me. I just want to get this over with.
I would like to add that Dominic you isn't inactive. He's trying his best, dude. Like, bro has like a full-time job, and he gets on once in a while to like do stuff, and he does a lot of stuff administratively here. So behind the back, behind the scenes. So I would like you two guys to not see it from like an outside perspective, like entirely, but you also gotta know from like the inside as well. Like, you should talk to Isaiah more than anyone else, to be honest.
Okay.
That's it.
Actually, I do have one more thing since you're here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this again. Sorry. Can you tell us about the other offices, particularly Commerce and Foreign Affairs?
Yeah, hold on. I haven't really talked to the people that really run that. Um, I really should, but I kind of left it to Isaiah because he had like the whole agenda in mind. I didn't really want to mess with it, and plus, I got fucking other things to do. So
So you're a pretty busy guy.
yeah,
So you haven't had time to reach out to them, but you're the chief of staff.
yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Again, like, I'm trying my best as well. Like, I'm also talking to Isaiah about different DOS stuff on a daily basis. So
Okay. Well, that's all from me.
Any other senators, seek recognition?
Oh. Sorry, I want to also elaborate that the chief of staff isn't really like an administrative position as much as other chiefs of staff. I'm also there as like a primary advisor to Dominic because I've had the most experience in the Department of State. Like, out of everyone else in the Department of State, like him and I are like the most experienced in running it. So
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sorsby. You may step down. I believe Robin 5D would like to testify relating to some of the things that were said, if the senators wish to entertain that.
I'm indifferent.
Okay, Mr. Robin 5D. Please administer the oath of honesty to Mr. Robin, Mr. Verbal.
What
This is
happened?
so
I'm
big,
lost.
guys.
What are we doing now?
Robin 5D is
Robin.
testifying.
What the? For what? What did this guy do?
He's in the
He worked for the
DOS.
Department of State.
Okay. This was voluntary.
The record will reflect, yes, that Mr. Robin has been sworn in. He is here voluntarily, not as the consequence of a subpoena. Does any senator have questions?
You can ask him your own questions, right?
I don't have.
I don't got
could,
questions.
but I don't have questions.
Then why was he brought up?
I don't
You're
You
the
said
one
you
who
wanted to
brought him up.
testify.
God
You
damn it.
said that you Had
I said I
questions
was
for
indifferent.
Department of State
Robin
people.
5D, Robin 5D, I have a question for you.
What's the question, man?
My question is, why exactly do you want to testify, and what do you have that is relevant to say to this today? What do you got to say?
I am one of 2 people, I think, me and Arthur, working on the Code of Statutes project, because there's no one else really doing anything on it.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I would like to testify in regard. Mr. Source V here. I
Let's not name
believe.
drop. Let's just.
Yeah, Mr. Source V. I got nothing against this guy, but the main issue with the lack of progress on the new Code of Statutes project is at this point boiled down entirely to Mr. Source V, and just a
Okay.
complete lack of management from hires up in the Department of State.
Could the moderation team please refrain from
I'm
kicking
still-
the senators?
I guess that's it, guys. We lost quorum, and I'll see you all later.
Yeah, that's it. It's a wrap.
Okay.
Thank you, chat. Sunset adjourned 10:09 p.m.
That's peak.
I had a few questions still, but it's all good. It's all good, guys. No worries. No worries. It's all good.
Thank God.
Oh my god.
Who
All
even
right,
got-
thanks
who
for your
got-
service.
I'm sending
everybody.
everyone to the Shadow Realm. Everyone to the Shadow Realm.
Oh, right.
Mr.
wait,
Verbs is
yeah.
fired. Oh, wait, he
You've
resigned
sent-
first.
There's a man with a shotgun in the Shadow Realm. No.
Summoned to Super Earth for deployment to Gloom-fed planet. May the record reflect that there is an armed gunman on the floor.
There's an armed gunman. Chat. Who let him in here? Who just tased PPD? Oh my God, they got him. Contempt. Oh wait, no, we're not in session. No contempt.
May the record reflect that Alex Neptunes needs to shut up.
Base.
True.
All right.
Excuse me.
How do I end
Gotta
this
let it out.
stage?